Coming up on Drumbeat TV, Tyler Junior College earns the distinct privilege of offering a 4-year degree.
And a community protest event carries on a heated debate on abortion. Drumbeat TV starts right now.
From Studio 203 on the campus of Tyler Junior College, this is the Drumbeat.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Alexis Long.
And I'm Aji Saho. You might notice that this Wednesday we are wearing pink.
This is in honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
We here at the Drumbeat would like to salute the immeasurable strength of women struggling with this terrible affliction.
For a lot of students at TJC, the goal is very simple: complete an associate's and move on to a university for a bachelor's. But for a certain group, earning a bachelor's is closer than it seems.
Ricardo Mexicano reports on the expanding TJC program that is dental hygiene.
It has been nearly 1 year since the announcement, but the bachelor's degree for the dental hygienist program has finally arrived. This has now placed TJC as one of the few junior colleges to offer a service such as this. Julie Metlin, the program coordinator, explained how all of this was made possible.
We were able to, with the support of Kevin L. Topp, our senator, and other legislators, able to get a sort of a temporary permission to have a bachelor's degree program here at TJC. And we have every expectation that it will be a permanent program here.
Mrs. Metlin also explained the gaps that the program fills that benefit not only students, but the citizens of East Texas.
At some point in the future, a bachelor's degree could very likely be the degree that's required, the minimum degree that would be required for a dental hygienist to actually become licensed. We live in a very dentally underserved part of Texas. All the data show that we have a lot of unmet dental needs in our region.
The program is already off to a great start, being met with surprising attendance.
We have enrolled 15 into the program this fall, and I have expectation of adding at least 3 more in the spring semester.
So what sets this program apart from attending a traditional 4-year university?
We are going to be able to provide the same level of education and make it as convenient as possible for dental hygienists in our region. The other big advantage would be the cost savings. We are approximately half the cost.
Spirits are high all around, from the professors instructing the course.
I'm very excited about the BSDH program. It's a great opportunity, fantastic instructors, great leadership opportunities. We have small classes, and we're hoping that it's going to grow from there.
To the students that are actively participating.
At first I wasn't planning on doing the bachelor program until I learned about the TJC program, because after I plan on being settled down after I graduate, and I didn't want to travel anywhere, and it being right here in Tyler was really helpful, and that's what made me decide to do the bachelor's.
I'm Ricardo Mexicano for the Drumbeat.com.
According to the TJC website, the school is fully accredited by the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools to offer a Bachelor of Science in Dental Hygiene. Recently, in conjunction with other schools in Tyler, hosted the 15th annual Road to College, an event targeted at Hispanic school students and parents that hope to help them get a sneak peek of college life.
Guest speaker Dr. Luis Panjuan, an associate professor of the Higher Education Administration at Texas A&M, spoke on the ever-growing population of Hispanics within the U.S., but focused on their low attendance and representation at higher education institutions. He states that the lack of education has led to high crime, incarceration, and suicide among Latino men and women. Yet, through the proper tools and services, he hopes to achieve a better outlook for the Hispanic population as a whole.
Understand how we can inform and educate families who never have gone to college to encourage their children to go to college. Getting a college education is our future. Getting our college education, it benefits everyone. And I believe me coming here today and talking to communities about what's happening in our state and our country is an important lesson to learn.
This past weekend, Tyler Life Chain met for its annual abortion event.
Even though many were in attendance for the event, they were met with a silent protest that took place across the street. Here's reporter Simone Shepard with the story.
On Sunday, October 2nd, Tyler Life Chain lined up along Loop 323 with the goal to spread awareness of their mission. Tyler Life Chain is composed of church groups and organizations and set out to hold 1 hour of silent prayer.
In the debate about abortion, it's a difficult issue, it's very personal to people, and often the debate is about everything except for the little unborn baby.
While many were in attendance for the event, across the street a silent protest was taking place.
So there's this tendency in East Texas for people to be bullied into silence that feel a little bit more liberally about things. Events like this tend to go completely unnoticed because we're so used to it and it's business as usual, whereas people that feel like me, it stands out as yet another thing to deal with in living in East Texas. And so my mission today is to show the people that feel like I do, we're here, we see you.
Many who came out to show their beliefs were very passionate about their views.
The entire reproductive rights movement is something that's very near and dear to my heart as someone who has had an abortion. And the weekend after I had my abortion, I went to a gas station just to pick up some basic things, and I turned through the church parking lot of the church that I grew up in, a Southern Baptist congregation in ARP, and there were 100 tiny crosses and a sign that said something along the lines of, "What does abortion cost? One human life?" And I had a panic attack in the church parking lot. People worried because I was gone for an hour and a half because I just couldn't handle it at all. And so, in general, the protest that they're doing today ties hand in hand with that, because every year they do put out the tiny crosses. Lots of churches around East Texas do, and it's actively harmful to people who have gone through abortion or who may need to one day because they feel so much shame despite the scientific evidence.
However, even with their difference of opinions, both sides maintained a respectful composure throughout the hour. I'm Simone Shepard for thedrumbeat.com.
The protest was civil, with both sides making their respective points peacefully.
The current presidential election race has been a source of heated debate for months now, with both candidates going for the throat and neither receiving particularly favorable press in the mainstream media outlets.
Now, in light of recent controversy involving leaked tapes of Donald Trump, his chances of winning this election are seemingly slimmer, and this has actually affected U.S. and Mexican markets. Here's more information from Reuters News Service.
The vote is still 4 weeks away, but the market, it seems, has already made up its mind. The second US presidential debate merely reinforcing the notion of a Clinton win.
For those that think that, like I do, that Trump has a very, very low chance of being elected, it might be a good time to be long global equities.
The debate itself was seen as a draw, but it was Trump who had ground to make up after the release of a video from 2005 in which he's heard talking about groping women. The punches were thrown, but no knockout blows landed. Asian shares and US futures both creeping higher, while the biggest mover was once again the Mexican peso, at one point up as much as 2% against the dollar.
I think some of his answers are still vague. He represents an unknown, which we would be taking a chance on if he were to become president.
One thing he has been clear about, though, is a plan to cut corporation tax from 35% to 15% as a way to stop big companies keeping profits offshore.
A cut in corporation tax might very well see some of these pools of cash repatriated. It might have an impact on global M&A activity. Yet on the other side of the equation, it could conceivably be regarded as pretty positive for the health of the US economy, which, despite all efforts, continues to struggle to generate escape velocity.
The same could be said of Trump too. All the effort, but many think there'll be no reward.
Early voting for Smith County begins October 24th.
For more information, you can visit www.thedrumbeat.com. Just click on the Elections tab.
After the break, we'll take a look at the Apache signers and see what they have in store for the hearing-impaired community.
And a new group has sprouted at TJC looking to make a difference through inclusion and a commitment to creating a beautiful student garden. We'll be back in a jiffy.
In the small town of Elmira, New York, a boy was born into an all-American family. The odds of him achieving his dream in the fashion industry? 1 in 23 million. The odds of having a child diagnosed with autism? 1 in 68. I am Tommy Hilfiger, and my family is affected by autism. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs.
Huntington! Every proper bear knows that the right fit means everything. Especially when it comes to car seats.
Oh, really? I just did what any bear would do.
So know for sure that your child is in the right car seat for their age and size.
I like it.
To learn more, visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat.
Oh, hello there.
Oh, where's that bear?
Welcome back to Drumbeat TV. The Apache Signers have a show coming up that will showcase their physical communication talents.
Rehearsing for their December contest, TJC's Apache Signers will be doing a rendition of Frosty the Snowman against Robert E. Lee and White House's ASL group. On December 3rd, the American Sign Language Club of TJC, known as the Apache Signers, are having a competition at Woodmen of the World.
The Apache Signers are a sign language performance group that started in 2008, and they perform at any venue that we're asked to perform. December 3rd is Kiss Fist Christmas, and the deaf community signs Kiss Fist Christmas because that means I love Christmas. The Tyler Deaf and Hard of Hearing Center are putting it on, and they've invited Apache Signers to come and perform for that event. We're also going to have a contest between Robert E. Lee and White House, the ASL students, and our ASL students, 6 from each school, and they're going to be competing against each other to see who does the best rendition of Frosty the Snowman in ASL. It's from 4:30 to about 8. Seating's limited. You can buy tickets from one of the board members, possibly here.
We met up with one of the signers to tell us their main goal for the show.
I will be doing the Frosty part, so I'll dress up as the snowman, but my goal, I guess, would just to be able to give a good interpretation of the song in ASL so that everyone there, hearing or deaf, can enjoy it and have a good time.
Raffle games with interesting prizes will also be involved.
There's also going to be raffle tickets. And anybody can buy those. You can see one of us and we can sell raffle tickets, $5 a piece or 5 for $20. There's a Moody Gardens trip, there's Rangers tickets, there's an iPad, and also a really cool prize that will be raffling is a quilt made by one of our deaf ladies.
I'm Ajisaho for thedrumbeat.com. If you're interested in the tickets for the show or raffle tickets, Rhonda McKenzie, who can be found at Perta 108, can be found.
Members of various organizations on the Tyler Junior College campus have pooled their resources in hopes of making the school a little greener.
Barbara Alcantara brings us with the dirt on the group's commitment to the student garden.
The Honors Colloquiums class students were inspired by Professor Ryan Button to be more sustainable and work together. The interest grew in other students, inspiring them to join the club.
At the beginning of summer, we just basically looked at all the people that were in the garden club, all the individuals that were in the green committee, they're all the same people. So we just kind of joined forces and, under that, and we went under the moniker of Green Committee.
Recently, the committee received funding for their first project, a garden built by students and for students that will create space for community involvement and community service on campus.
And so that's where this money is coming from. It's the students putting it out there, and then we get a small portion of it so that we can make this space on campus for the students to come and enjoy.
One of the main ideas behind the project is to reach every student at Tyler Junior College.
Not, Rogers Garden, not Jenikov Garden, not some donor's garden, which those are good things. But this is the Tyler Junior College Student Garden. It is a project for all of us, not just the Green Committee, but everybody on campus.
The students are going to use the products planted by them in the garden to help people outside of Tyler Junior College and fight for an important cause.
We're going to have a byproduct of thousands and thousands of pounds of food. And since we can't bring it to, use it on campus necessarily, while students can still come and pick and eat, of course, because we can't stop them, but we're going to use that food and we're going to give it to PATH, who then gives to Salvation Army. And this is going to be thousands of dollars worth of food we're going to give to Salvation Army.
The student garden is going to be built at the south side of Jenniko's Science and Arts building, and the students already started working on it. I'm Barbara Alcantara for the Drumbeat.com.
Any student is welcome to join the Green Committee's efforts.
The Great Gatsby has been retold in different forms over generations. Originally a book by F. Scott Fitzgerald, is now taking the stage as Tyler's latest community production.
The show will run starting this Friday from October 14th to October 23rd. Tickets can be purchased at the box office.
The quality of a show is usually equal to the commitment of the creators, and the actors are the creators. And so the fact that they are sold out, totally invested in what they're doing, makes a huge, huge difference in what you're going to see as an audience member. Tyler Junior College students can come 2 for $25, so that's a discount off of a regular $18 admission. Student tickets are typically $15, so that would be $30, but for 2 for $25 for this one.
When we come back, we will look at how Student Senate's recent open forum provided answers to a student body brimming with questions.
And with student safety on campus being a matter of utmost importance, we'll examine the Code Blue initiative. Drumbeat TV will be back in a flash.
Morning, Gary. We are GetSchooled.com. You want a college education, don't you? You know you do. Yeah, but I don't know where to start. That's why we're here. We're free, handsome. I think we're breathtaking. And here to guide you through every step of the way, starting with attendance. Gary, financial aid forms. Biology homework, G. I got this. Is that Bran? Colleges love extracurricular activities.
Chess really isn't my thing.
I got this. Doesn't matter. Go ahead. Picking a college, man. You and us go together like tacos and Tuesday.
And I love tacos.
Fire and ice.
Those don't really go together.
Go to GetSchooled.com for more info.
And then from this angle, it all makes a star.
I'm a teacher. Let me tell you what I make. I make learning a privilege, not a chore.
Show up
And frustration, a tool, not an obstacle. I make working hard seem easy, and giving up impossible.
And then we're going to turn on the lights and everybody look up.
I make an old subject feel like a fresh thought.
Finally won.
What's your reaction? Yeah, exactly.
And unconventional methods
Okay, what else?
common.
This is their world.
There's nothing.
And then they die. Go ahead, go, go, go.
I'm a teacher. I make more.
Welcome back to Drumbeat TV. Student Affairs held an open forum recently.
Reporter and news director Rob King was on the scene to show us how to do it and how it went down.
Student Senate hosted an open forum earlier this week on Tuesday, October 4th, on the second floor of Rogers Student Center. Featured guests available for questioning included Campus Police, Aramark, IT Department, FAFSA, and Student Housing.
Well, the open forum is a traditional event. Student Senate typically does this in the fall, sometimes in the spring, and we just invite key representatives from different campus departments to come out here. We have it more of a public place rather than our normal meeting location, so that it's more student accessible, because we want students to be able to walk up and ask their questions. But to put it on, we just really invited them and had it during our normal Student Senate meeting time.
Student Affairs hosts events like the recent public forum to give them a direct line of communication to the various departments and facilitators around campus.
So basically, oftentimes a student, especially freshmen, won't know how to get in contact with different people in the administration to know, why is their computer not working on the Wi-Fi? Why do they not see as many campus police walking around? Or, if they hear of an issue on campus, why haven't they been informed through email? Different things like that. So oftentimes students are confused or just don't understand how to get in contact with these people. And so what this really offers is a way for people to come and ask questions directly to them and figure out how to get those answers, if not get them right away.
Functioning as an umbrella organization representing and serving all others as well as the student body at large, TJC Student Senate believes it can help other organizations grow, creating a more vibrant student life as well as providing a voice, acting as liaison between students and the administration. I'm Rob King for TheDrumbeat.com.
The Student Affairs Office can be found on the second floor of Rogers Student Center. Any questions you have about the student life or Student Senate meetings can be answered there.
Last broadcast, we brought you up to date on a string of recent crimes that took place on campus.
With the safety of students at TJC being always the utmost importance, Julia Contarelli brings us on the scoop of potentially life-saving campus initiative that has been around for you, but you may not know.
Big pedestals with lights on top and a red button. These are the emergency buttons called Code Blue.
It's an emergency call box. That's what it is. Well, in case of an emergency, you can hit the button and it calls our 510-2222 number.
According to Chief Randy Melton, the Code Blue poles on campus were installed many years ago, but since then, TJC has expanded.
I think they were appropriate when they were first installed, but after campus has grown so much since then, there might need to be some more.
There are 2 Code Blues here at TJC on campus. There is one right here at the tennis court and the other one in Ornelas Hall.
The safety buttons were installed in these locations due to it being farther away from the main campus at the time.
There should definitely be more over by Rogers. Maybe even over by the Wise Cultural Arts Center as well. But I think the 2 that we have now are the ones that don't really apply.
Tyler Junior College does not plan on adding new poles anytime soon. I am Julia Contarelli for TheDrumbeat.com.
The campus police emergency number can be found on the main TJC called tjc.edu. Don't ever hesitate to call them if you are in a threatening situation on campus.
The 3rd annual lawn reading was yesterday in the front of Vaughan Library. The event was hosted by the Turing Center.
The idea of the event is to get people out to simply read with friends or get some alone time and study for upcoming midterms. In case you were hungry while at the lawn reading, snacks were provided.
Today we're doing Reading on the Lawn. This is an event that Apache Tutoring puts on every semester. We want to encourage students to come outside, enjoy the great outdoors, enjoy the sunshine, and read any kind of reading material.
Coming up after the break, one man in Tyler has big plans to provide the city with more bicycle paths.
And later on, we check in with NASA for This Week in Space. Is that a jiffy? Because we'll be back in it.
I'm Jenny Garth, and as a mother of 3, I know kids worry about a lot of things. Getting enough food to eat shouldn't be one of them. But here in America, that is a real worry for 1 in 5 children. Even though we are one of the most food-rich countries in the world, 15 million children don't know where their next meal is coming from. This is unacceptable, and something the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks is working to solve. Instead of accepting that our country lets billions of pounds of surplus food go to waste every year, Feeding America has made it their mission to help families in need by rescuing this food. Through food pantries and meal programs, the nationwide network of food banks provides more than 3 billion meals, serving virtually every community in the United States, including yours. Join me in supporting Feeding America and your local food bank by visiting feedingamerica.org. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move.
Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back to Drumbeat TV. One UT student has big plans for the city of Tyler with a proposed project.
Cyclists around town may have new paths to travel on if this young man gets his way.
Pedro Savagna is a UT Tyler student and native Brazilian working to improve transportation in the East Texas area by improving bicycle lanes.
So basically we're developing bicycle lanes for the entire city of Tyler. The idea of the project is to connect every single part of the city to fix a problem with the bike lanes we have right now, that you're just riding your bicycle and suddenly it ends.
Pedro explained how extensive creating these new bicycle lanes actually is, mentioning the fact that he rode a total of 28 miles just the previous day.
So basically what I do is I have to basically ride my bicycle on every single road. It's not every single road. First of all, I go to Google Maps, and then so I can have like an idea of how's the road, the width, because in order to do a bike lane, we're gonna remove part of the road to actually use just for a bicycle lane. So I have to get there, measure the width of every single road. I have to check the pavement quality, streets.
If you're thinking how extensive the application process for something like this must have been, you might be surprised.
Basically, they talk with Dr. Suleiman. He's the civil engineering professor related to traffic, and then he sent an email to everyone in my class asking if someone wanted to join the group, and then I wanted. That's how I got added to the group.
We also spoke with Kim Livingston, Associate Dean of Students at UT Tyler, who told us about how she thinks the new bicycle lanes will have a positive impact on students.
We don't have a lot of public transportation, which makes it more challenging for students to get to school, and parking's always an issue on campus, and so that's helpful.
Pedro also explained where we could be expecting to see these new lanes.
So basically the first spoke that we developed was actually connecting UT Tyler to TJC. It's going to go on McDonald Road, and then it's going to pass behind TJC on Devine Street, and then it's going to go all the way to Mother Francis and ATMC.
With a $20,000 budget for the project, Pedro estimates that it will take a year to a year and a half for the lanes to be complete and ready to use. I'm Chesley Flores for thedrumbeat.com.
New bicycle paths may improve safety and provide more options for commuting in the city of Tyler.
After the break, our friends at NASA will give us some insight on the life of one Skelly Cott, famed astronaut.
Drumbeat TV will be back in 2 shakes of a pom-pom.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Welcome back to the Drumbeat TV. You might know Scott Kelly as a famed astronaut.
NASA has been kind enough to provide us with some insight on what led him down his particular career path.
People sometimes look at, how did you go from this kid to an astronaut? That's a pretty big step, but in reality, it's really a bunch of little steps that kind of build upon each other. My brother and I were explorers at a very young age. Spent a lot of time outside, a lot of time at the Jersey Shore. As we got older, when I went to college, I kind of took that to the next level, going to a merchant marine officer's school. We had this 800-foot ship that we would take to Europe every summer. It was a World War II troop and cargo vessel. It did have that kind of romantic aspect to it, and that just reminded me of what it must have been like on a sailing vessel hundreds of years ago. I think operating the vessel, just the kind of the methodology and the attention to detail you needed to do that helped me when I went into the Navy, really helped me do well in flight school, which then helped me get selected to fly jets, which then transitioned to flying fighters, the F-14 Tomcat, later becoming a test pilot and then an astronaut. I'm Scott Kelly, and I'm an astronaut.
Becoming an astronaut takes guts, something the many pioneers at NASA seem to have in spades.
Thank you for joining us today. Our next broadcast will be on October 26th.
Remember, you can always find the latest news at thedrumbeat.com.
The opinions expressed here are those of the students and do not necessarily reflect the positions of Tyler Junior College.